Hi, Jeannie. I'll be out of town for the next few days, actually. I'm just trying to get in touch with my customers before I head out. Family member passed, and I have to deal with that. Um, what I just wanted to give you a quick update is actually, now that you've explained what's going on here, I see you've removed the menu. That's probably a good thing at this point because if you just have the blog, you don't really need the menu, that menu to be in here. What it is, think of it as an administrative menu for the Numo components. Now I've got a clearer picture because you said local host. So you have a server running on your own computer and you've got a remote server. Now, the only way it would be identical is if you actually installed Numo, the Numo component, to your local host as well. Okay, so although that menu that was looking kind of strange down here in this area, I think that's what we're talking about, that would not display. Even if you had a local host running, excuse me, that would not display unless you also had the Numo component administration and all the back end, unless you had it installed locally. Most people don't do that. Most folks would just install Numo to their web server and that's it. And locally ignore that weird placeholder content that shows up. But I see that it's gone from your remote site anyway. So, and in most cases, because you just have the blog component, you don't really need that. It's just a default install. Um, and when you go to publish up to the remote server, if you don't have an administration panel and all that sort of thing set up, it's not going to display any pages or whatnot. So you can just simply remove it from the page. But I see that everything looks okay here anyways. And you figured out spacing and paddings and things like that as well. So that's great. That's good to see. But I just had to send a quick message off just to clarify. I know you've had the ticket in there for a few days now, and I'll be back later next week. But as long as everything's looking fine here, I'm good with that, as long as you're good with that. But to clarify, those links and all that stuff that was showing up down here, you would actually have to install the Numo system locally as well as to your server if you wanted it to be identical on both. Okay, and like I said, very few people ever do that. So I was surprised when I actually looked and you said local host. It was like, oh, bell went on or light went on. I see what you're thinking now is it should look identical for both, but no, it won't unless you have Numo installed in both locations.